Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do we go from here? I don't know if I'm to laugh or cry. Um, I want to say one thing though. This is not the fans' fault. This is the club, managers, players' fault. The blame for yesterday lies directly at Antonio Conte and the players he had on that pitch. I've had enough people calling out some fans. It's this fan, it's that fan. He's this, he's that. It's the players and the managers it's the manager who picks the team, and it's the players who absolutely played the 90 minutes or 120 minutes, whatever it is, on that pitch on that day. So let's get this straight now. We all need to unite as a fan base. We're going to head to civil war, and that's what we are going to head for. This fan base is split down the middle, left, right, up, down, all over the fucking place. And enough is a fucking enough. It was the manager yesterday. He picked the wrong side. He picked the wrong formation. He picked two people instead of three in midfield. And then people today are calling out the fans. It's enough is enough. And I'm fed up to the back teeth of it all. Good evening, Philip. Sorry for my rant.
No, it's okay. I agree with every word you said. I mean, I've been watching developments yesterday and today now on some of the other sites, and to be honest with you, I mean, some of the abuse some of the fans are taking, fans that absolutely deserve nothing but praise for their loyalty and their commitment to Tottenham Hotspur. Yet they've been taken out by bullies on other channels. That's all you can call them, is bullies. What annoys me more is there could be 6 people on a chat, and one person is ranting on about another Spurs fan, and the other 5 just sit there listening to him. They don't call him out for being over the top, for the language that was used. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I'd say this now, lads. If anyone comes on this channel and starts bad mouthing another Spurs fan, you won't see yourself a dust. You'll be gone, off completely there and then. We will not have bullying or name calling on this channel. We're all Tottenham Hotspur fans. The name calling needs to be reserved for the club and the players and the management at the moment. They're the ones that are letting us down, not the fans. The fans are suffering. I'm wondering, are the players suffering as much as the fans? Somehow I doubt it. They're all up there in the ivory castles with people throwing sugar at them and bringing their Lamborghinis round to go for a spin. We don't have that. We have guys who had to get up for work this morning and go and face Arsenal fans in their office. Can you imagine how rotten that would be?
And we've got one here in the chat already. And look, look, we can banter all we want, and he can say you guys said Spurs will smash Arsenal smash Spurs, even without getting out of first gear. Arsenal players are stuttering through the game. Look, there's 19 games to go. There is 19 games to go. Some Arsenal plans are very quick now. What got me yesterday was the Arsenal fans dancing at the end of White Hart Lane. That got me more than anything. They haven't even won the fucking league, and they think they're lifting the trophy tomorrow. There's 19 games yet. You lose against Man United next weekend. Man United are 3 points behind you. Man City can go on a run like that. Man City can go on the 10-12 game unbeaten run.
Yeah,
it ain't over till it's over.
We know how Arsenal bottled things last season. Who's to say they won't do it again this time? You know, they're doing well at the moment, fair dues to them, but it's a long way to go yet. An awful long way to go yet.
They did the double over of us for the first time, Philip, in so many years. It hurts.
Sorry, lad.
No, it's okay, Philip. Sorry. It hurts. But look, we will be back. We've got Adrian Sucker. Good afternoon, Adrian. Hope you're doing well. We've got Mick Harmlet. Big up, Mick. He says, big up Dermot and Philip. We've got big up David from Leicester. He says, hi. Hello from Leicester. Hope everyone has recovered from Sunday's debacle. I know I don't care anymore, but I didn't swear at my screen. Yeah, I did more than swearing last night. It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. We've got FTSM column. I think he's a Man United fan, and a very, very, very actually a pleasant fella to speak to. It says, in the second half of the game, you were the better. The issue in the second half of the game, you were better. You were way better. The issue you guys are facing is the lack of fight in the first half. Poor choices made on the pitch by players and poor choices by Conte. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. We should never have started that game with two players in midfield. Arsenal overran in the midfield. Look, we started well for the first 6, 7, 8 minutes. Then we just got totally overrun. Lloris again has to go. I'll sell him now in January. Get a keeper in now. Get Foster in for the next game. I don't want Lloris anywhere near us, our goalkeeping position. He's cost us too many points. And once he made the first mistake, we all lost our heads. Heads just went down and we just lost it. So, look, I agree with you, FTC column. Absolutely right. To David Clark said just one word, stop him. Exactly, David. You're spot on there, sir. You're absolutely spot on there. Mick Harmlet says, I agree, Philip, what you said 100%. Yep, so do I. Get the bloody lot out and start again. Yeah, where do you start, Derek? Where do you start? We've been saying that now since Potter was here. Where do we start? But I agree with you. We do need to start again. I know it wasn't a great performance on Sunday, but Arsenal keeper didn't get man of the match for me for no reason. He made 2 blinding saves twice in the last 10 minutes of Wolves. But yeah, he did. And also what happened afterwards. No, I don't condone any fan of any club doing what they did. But I want to put a question out there. It was mentioned on TalkSport this morning. Did Richarlison make things worse by what he did? Did he make things worse, or was the Arsenal goalkeeper wrong to do what he did? Let me know what you think, Philip. At the end with the Tottenham fan kicking the Arsenal goalkeeper in the back.
Yeah, no, that's not. I don't condone that at all. Like I said, it's just a heat of the moment thing, you know. It's just these things happen now and again. But that's the issue. Ramsdale put in for it. Flashing the Arsenal badge at the South Stand in Tottenham Hotspur is like, you don't do it. It's like wearing the Celtic shirt at a Rangers match. It's not popular.
No,
you shouldn't have done it. And Richarlison pulled him up for it. Richarlison was dead right to go and tell him to cool it a bit, you know. But I'd say what it was. It's probably they were delighted to win the game. They justified themselves yesterday, whereas they didn't last May. I think that's probably where it all came from. A bit of heat of the moment stuff, you know. I wouldn't pass it. The fact that the Arsenal got man of the match just shows you that it was, you know, that second half was a lot more even than Arsenal would like to think it was. Yeah. And Arsenal played more in the second half like we used to get them playing. Not great. No. But we let them at it in the first half. That was the problem. We should have got at them in the first half. We didn't. And we paid the price again for a poor first half performance.
We really did. Mick Harnlett says Hugo has got to go. We'll get into that in a minute, Philip. He does for me. Brandy Zeno, second half Spurs weren't better. Arsenal won the game already in the first half.
No, take off your Arsenal glasses, please. Take off your Arsenal glasses. The fact that your goalkeeper made so many good saves in the second half, they weren't back passes, they were shots. They were good shots. You know, so if you're going to be real, you know, just be realistic and say it as it is. Don't say it through red tinted glasses.
Simon Jordan. Now, I don't agree with everything Simon Jordan says, but he said on TalkSport this morning that for the 15 minutes of the second half, Tottenham ripped them. And I think we did for 15 minutes. If we had got a goal within them 15 minutes, I think it'd be a totally different North London derby to how it ended up.
Yeah. And to say Arsenal players just had to stand on the pitch in the second half and avoid injuries. Sorry, that's insulting.
It is insulting.
If only you had Ramsdale in goal, that could have been 2 each very quickly in the second half. Yeah. Then where would we be? No, only one team would have won that game. Because as you know, Tottenham are the specialists in coming from behind. And we weren't able to do it yesterday, but we'll do it again. You know, so I appreciate Arsenal fans coming on here, but come on with sensible comments, please.
Yeah. I've put a poll in the chat, Philip. Is Conte the right man for Spurs? 33% say yes. 60% say no.
Yeah.
So that for me.
I don't know. I think, you know, I love Antonio Conte. I think he can be a great manager for us. But what he's done in recent games, he seems to be totally incapable of changing his tactics, his formation. Like we were crying out for 3 in midfield yesterday to counteract Arsenal. We all knew what was going to happen, 3 against 2, 4 against 2 in some cases. It didn't happen. And putting in Papa Sarr, good and well and all as he tried. It was his debut. Imagine, just sit there and think that for a minute. A young guy making his debut in the North London derby and expected to perform to a level that he will get to, but hasn't just got there yet.
No.
So
I thought he'd done quite well yesterday, Papa Sarr, to be fair. I thought he was the best player.
He did. He showed some fight. Unfortunately, Pierre Højbjerg didn't have one of his better games.
No, he didn't. David Clark puts here, the really sad thing is that Arsenal side, this Arsenal side isn't that great. They're just super efficient.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd actually agree with that. Look, you can... Look, what's got me, Philip, look where we were last May. Who's made the biggest strides during
the
summer?
We've gone backwards.
Yeah, we've gone backwards completely.
They've gone forward. I'm not denying that. I mean, a fair dues to them. It's what they've done. What we should have done, really. They're stuck with a manager who's taken a lot of criticism, rightly so, because I mean he didn't really perform very well up to this season. But they've got players in. That Zinchenko fellow was a great buy for them. We should have been in for a player like that, wing back.
I'm sorry, this idiot he's just going to put in a time. He's an idiot, just totally idiot. Sorry. Yeah, look. What do you do, Philip? Look, I'll go through these comments and then we'll talk. And then I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask you, Philip. But look, we'll get through this, then we'll do that. Adrian, big up Adrian. San Kufaseski were the only positives to start. I want to read that out, Philip. Sorry, I'm getting a bit.
That's what.
Do you want to read that comments out? Sorry.
Yeah, Sarr in the North London derby shows that Conte trusts him and that it's now very unlikely he will go out on loan. That's true. It should be the same for Hill as we need depth. Yeah. Like bringing Brian Hill on after 87 minutes. What is the point? Really? 3 minutes to go, you know. I'm just going to move location here, lads.
Yeah. Okay. We've got David Clark here. We know Spurs are capable of good play. I know it was only for a short period, but in that time we played fast and accurate play. We did, David. And for that 15 minutes, if we had a goal in that 15 minutes, I think we would have got something out of the game. But we were so bad the first half. No fight. No nothing in that first half was absolutely dismal. So, look, 15 minutes does not make for the whole 75 minutes. Look, for me, I'm very class becoming Conte out. And I said that last night on Dave's show. And I was really emotional on Dave's show last night. It just really got to me how much this means to me, how much this game means to the fans. For 45 minutes, they did feck all. They couldn't even put two passes together. And they were all, as Dave says, all high-fiving each other, patting each other in the back. Good game faces. But it's like a boxer going into the boxing ring. Do you know? You may look really up for it, like you're fighting Mike Tyson. But 30 seconds, you're flat on your back with stars going around your head. That was Tottenham yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, good game faces, but didn't do anything. We've got Derek Hutchison. Philip says all Pochettino players need to go, Kane included. You can start there. I'm glad, Philip, he didn't break the record yesterday. I think that would have been a bad day to break the
the result would have overshadowed it. So we'll save it for City on Thursday. We normally scores anyway.
We will be doing the watch along on Thursday, folks. Don't worry. It was only technical
issues. The paper bag over my head, probably. But anyway,
we'll hold behind us. I had my cushion ready yesterday. I'll have it back again for Thursday.
Yeah. But as for all the players going, like we know the likes of Ben Davies, Hugo Lloris, Eric Dyer. They need Son, including Son in it now. I'm afraid Son is past the sell-by day for us. I'm not including Harry Kane in there. You can't sell your best player, you know. So let's just keep him out of there. But certainly the rest of the guys deserve to go before Pochettino comes back, and that's why I don't think Pochettino will come back if Conte does leave, because there's too many of the players still at the club and will be at the club for the rest of the season at least that caused him to leave back in 2019. So you know.
There's a rumor that we could be after the ex-German manager.
Which one's that now?
Joachim Low.
Oh, Low, Joachim Low, yeah. I would love to see Jurgen Klinsmann coming back, but that's
same
just
here. But FTSN column, and can I say this is how a fan does act? This is a proper fan. He's a Man United fan, but he shows respect on a Spurs channel. So big up to you. He says, I think the issue with Conte is he doesn't understand what Tottenham is and what they are historically. He plays Italian football everywhere he goes. The way he sets up asks for trouble.
That's true.
Do you know what? He actually makes a very good point here.
It's a very good point. It's great. It's great to see rational points coming in from other fans of other teams. It's a credit. I love to see that rather than the flippant, stupid put downs that we usually get. Good point. You're right about his style, and if he doesn't understand what Tottenham and Arsenal means after he's played two of them now, three of them,
Yeah,
he should know by now. Really,
yeah.
or someone should take them to one side and say, "Listen, guys, you realise this is the most important game of not of the season, of the year. Our home game against Arsenal, we usually win it, and you set up a team that's going to continue that trend. Unfortunately, he didn't. He set up a team that was as porous as a wet paper bag in the first half.
Yeah.
There was no cover for the defence. The midfield was completely overrun. The attack didn't even get a look in hardly, except for a couple of shots. And then we have Hugo Lloris playing two left-handed, with two left hands.
Don't talk to me about that.
Which was, I know the goal against Villa was bad, but there was some excuse for that. It was a hard, well-driven shot. This was like a back pass, and he flaps it into his own net. Something you don't see a 9-year-old goalkeeper doing. No. So it's unbelievable. And of course, that the minute that went in, the spirits dropped, the heads dropped.
Yeah.
Shows you how fragile our temperament is at the moment.
It is. It was embarrassing yesterday, wasn't it, really, Philip? And look, I'm going to start with this. I'm just getting over the questions now. And we're going to start with this question, Philip. And we've got a couple of comments there. Derek Hutchison, big up. He says, Haaland will take Eric Dyer to the cleaners on Thursday. That would be fun to watch, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. He won't take Christian Romero to the cleaners. That's one sure thing. He might need to go to the cleaners after the game. Because to get to Romero, have to get the Haaland out of his shorts after the match, So here's hoping anyway,
Phil
Haaland's been pretty poor in the last few matches.
Yeah,
and that worries me a bit because he's going to come back at some stage.
Big up Phil P says we're finished, lads, rotten from top to bottom.
Yeah, well,
you can't disagree with that. You can't disagree. Wayne Bonner, big up Wayne Bonner. If you want to be like Wayne Bonner with that lovely badge beside his name, get on there, get the memberships. We are going to run a competition from the Man City game onwards on the 5th of February. And we will tell you about that later. So he says, Levy should not have bought in Ten Hag instead of Nuno. Might be a different story. Should have bought in Ten Hag instead of Nuno. Might have been a different story now.
Yeah. True. Ten Hag was a good manager with Ajax. He did. But then again, there's history there. I think Ten Hag hasn't recovered from that night in Amsterdam, May 19, when we beat them.
I don't think so.
No.
Wade Bonner also puts the performance yesterday was poor. Romero, Kulu were the only players who for me who bothered. Yeah. Derek Hutchison says if Harry Kane wants medals, it's good. It's no good him staying at Spurs.
We'll see what happens at the end of the season. That's all we can do. We're still in the FA Cup. We're still in the Champions League, albeit not going to go that far in it, I don't think. So we'll see if we can get a decent draw in the FA Cup, how far we can go,
Big up to the United Spurs of America. Big up Jacob and that. Good to see you in the chat.
We're keeping a painted smile. We're behind a painted smile. I think that's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah, we're not very happy, Jacob, but we're pretending to be. Big up Paul Brown. He said, when it comes to the current owners, regardless of MGR, one cranky prediction of the future is the past, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Phil P makes a good comment here, Philip. Bill Nick used to say Spurs have 3 cup finals every season: Arsenal at home, away, and 1 at Wembley. If we can get there, the great man will be turning in his grave. God love him.
That's a guy who understood how much the North London derby meant to the fans. In an area like North London, as I said, there's guys going into work this morning dreading going into work because they know the slagging they were going to get, especially as they would have given it large back last May when we beat them.
Yeah.
So, I know it swings and roundabouts. We win some, they win some, and whatever. But that's twice they've beaten us this season, and that's not acceptable. Not acceptable.
What's it? 5 goals scored, 1 against.
Yeah, that's right.
Over the 2 games.
Yeah.
And then we've got Derek Hutchison. Big up Derek. Big up Mick.
Romero hopefully won't get sent off. That guy is still a class act. I hope not.
And
but one thing I wonder, he will wind up Haaland to no end, and Haaland does not like being wound up. I'd say Haaland could be the one that gets sent off there quicker than Romero.
But FTSM says if you can get it together for the City game, keep Haaland and
Kevin De Bruyne.
quiet, you have a massive chance. It's really not an easy task, but if you're on it from minute one, it can be done.
Well, we did it last season twice. We only seemed to beat them twice last year. And City are not playing well at the moment.
No,
I know they were the victim of that ridiculous VAR decision on Saturday.
Yeah.
But they're not playing on all cylinders at the moment, not like they usually do.
Definitely not. That poll, 15 votes in, is still 60% saying no. Conte is the right. Is Conte the right man for Spurs? 40% say yes. 60% say no. Philip.
Yeah, and that's quite a well. I know there was one last week was even higher than that for Conte to go, but I think fans are just getting a bit fed up with the fact that we went behind in 10 matches on the trot. Okay, we arrested that against Crystal Palace. But like we're counting again now. Game number 1, going behind again, and they're just getting a bit fed up with the tactics. Spurs fans want football. I'll tell you how Spurs fans want football played. I watched Brighton demolish Liverpool at the weekend. There, I loved the way they played football. It was like the push and run team of the 50s. Pass, run, pass, run. Whereas what we do, pass, stand still, pass, stand still. So anyway, wishful thinking.
Anyway, well, this was the starting lineup yesterday, Philip, for the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
I'll give my thoughts first, and then I'll let you have a few minutes just to get your thoughts again on what you think. I give Lloris a 1 because he was fucking useless. Romero, I give a 6. Dyer, I give a 3. Longley, I'll give a 4. He when they had that bit before the first goal, Philip, where they kept passing it around the box area like nobody wanted to have the ball. Give him a 4. Doherty, a 3. Sigurdsson, I give him a 2. Should have been taken off after about 10, 15 minutes. He was fucking useless. Højbjerg, I'll give a 5. Not his best game. Pape Sarr, I give an 8. I thought he was absolutely excellent yesterday. Sonny again, I'll give a 6. Not great for Sonny. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what we can do for him. And then Kulu, I will give a 6 as well. His first game back after injury. And Harry, I'll give a 6 as well. And then on the substitutes there, Philip, the substitutes then come on. Then Skip, Basuma, Hill, and Richarlison come on. I'll give Richarlison 6. Hill didn't have enough time to make an impact on the game, and Basuma as well, and Perisic as well did not have time really to make any impact.
It's a problem in itself, the fact that the substitutions weren't made in time.
Yeah, they were too late. So that's my score. That's my team scoring very badly. Embarrassed. That's the word I would call that team, an embarrassment. Philip, what about you?
Lloris, I'll give him a 1 because I don't think it's fair to give him a 0. Doherty 5, Romero 6, Dyer 6. Dyer wasn't too bad. Yeah, Longley a 5, Sessegnon 2. His crossing is just abysmal. For a guy that's with us 3 or 4 years now, he's been absolutely no progress. Højbjerg 4, he wasn't great. Sarr 7, the guy tried his heart out. Kulusevski 6, Kane 6, and Son 3.
Yeah.
The
substitutes that come on.
Give five to each of them. That's all they deserve.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Didn't really have a chance, did they? Too late.
No, that's it. I mean, 87 minutes bringing Brian Hill on. What's he supposed to do?
That's Brian Maguire hits the nail right in the head. The lack of effort angered me.
And that's something I cannot figure out. You've got the biggest game of the season against your biggest rivals, and you play as if it's a practice match against Scunthorpe United.
Yeah.
No, that leads me to believe there is something not quite right in the dressing room. Are they voting with their feet that they don't want this guy in charge anymore? That they're not good at his tactics? They can't get used to his tactics, or they can't play his tactics. I know we're all harping back to the great attacking days of Pochettino when Spurs were a team you feared when you played Tottenham because you knew you were on for a battering and you'd be up against 75-80% possession against you. That's gone the opposite now. We're lucky to get 35-40% possession in the match.
Yeah.
We cede territory far too easily. We let teams come at us. Our defence isn't good enough to hold them out. And our attack is probably, by the time we're 2 or 3-0 down, it's too late to do anything about it most times. So, it's just, I don't know. For a guy that's won so much, he seems to be found out now. We've come to Tottenham, and everyone now has sussed him out. And he won't change his ways. He's very stubborn. The two in midfield yesterday was just... That's all I can say.
I don't know. Callum says, I love the way Spurs play back in the day under Poch. Very high tempo attacking football. In my opinion, I know it was up and down. with Poch, but his playing style suited you guys. That's the style you need. That's the Tottenham way. That's how we've always played.
Look at the season 16-17, the last season at the Lane. 17 wins, 2 draws. Football, we blew everybody in sight away. The only teams to get points off us were Liverpool and Leicester. I mean, we absolutely demolished teams that season for fun, and that was brilliant to watch. And okay, we weren't perfect, but I'll tell you one thing: if that team was playing today, they'd be pushing for the top of the league. The way we played that season, we had brilliant. Everybody was in full flow, and it's been all backwards since then. Because the managers have not been backed with enough to recruit the players that we need. As players moved on, they were replaced with substandard replacements. What did we replace? Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld with?
We've never replaced them.
Yeah, exactly. Who do we replace Christian Eriksen with? Answers on a postcard. That's it.
Please send to this address.
No, please send to Daniel Levy, 741 High Road, Tottenham, and don't put a stamp on it.
David Clark's team, they're quite bad. They're like ours, but we're not never the same. Luis 2, Romero 2, Dyer 4, Longley 6, Doherty 5, Højbjerg 3, Sarr 8, Cess 2, Kulu 6, Kane 6, Son 1. Harsh, but true. Right, Philip, before we get on to the questions, we just want to bring up something I saw yesterday. I don't know if you said it on Saturday about Joe Lewis wanted to put Tottenham up for sale. Now, I don't know if you do. You know,
I don't know.
What do you make of it?
A couple of months back, he put more or less has handed over all his shares to the trustees and his daughter and whatever. I mean, like at this stage, what do you believe? What's written in the press? Do you believe anything? Really? The fact then that suddenly the Qatari investment people come along and say they want to buy 30% of the club comes along at the same time. Now I hear they've moved on to Liverpool, but they can't buy Liverpool either because they own PSG. So 30% is as much as they can go. I don't know. I would love to see it happen, but I mean, what's he going to be looking for?
Yeah,
he's going to be looking for about 4 billion, I would say, roughly. And who's got that? I mean, Jeff Bezos could do it if he wanted to. Elon Musk could probably do it if he hadn't lost all those billions. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see that one out. What we need, though, the fans need to keep up the pressure to show the dissatisfaction. And I don't think there was a massive demonstration yesterday. I don't think it was put it like this: the Everton fans did it the right way on Saturday. They actually cornered some of the players after the match. Jurgi Mina, whatever you call him, was he's getting into his car at the car park. They wouldn't attack him. They accosted him and asked him what was going to happen. He pledged his future to Everton. That's fair enough. And then one of the other lads had his car blocked in. He wasn't let out either. Okay, I know that's taking it a bit far. Probably scaring the guys. But the fact that the Everton board was told not to go to the match on Saturday for their own safety, that's a trend that could well continue with other clubs who have dissatisfaction with their owners.
Yeah. Well, you look at Man United, how they get the Glazers out. They're doing it the right way.
Yeah, they haven't got them gone yet, but they're working on it.
Yeah. Now, Philip, I saw this press conference yesterday, and I'm still baffled by this, right? This is the headline, right? Antonio Conte insists he is not disappointed with Tottenham display in there. I'll just turn your camera off there, Philip.
I just turned the camera. Hold on one second.
Yeah, just do that. That he's not disappointed with Tottenham's display in the Arsenal defeat, and he goes on to say, if it can happen that sometimes you make a mistake, for sure, when there is the mistake of the keeper, it is more visible. Hugo for us is one of the players who is really important for the dressing room, for his personality, because we are talking about a player who is one of the best keepers in the world. Yeah, I'd love to know which game he's watching. About the performance, I am not disappointed. I am not disappointed because we knew that the game could be really difficult because Arsenal is a really, really strong team, and also tonight showed that. In the second half, we played well. We played with the right intensity. We created the chances to score. I think if we scored after a few minutes in the second half, I think the situation could be difficult, could be different. We created, it goes on here, this is some rant. We created chances to try to score, and at the same time we didn't lose our head. At this point of the game, the risk is to lose your head and concede another goals and finish with a really, really bad defeat. Instead, I think we have to be disappointed with the bad result, but at the same time I saw a big effort from my players. Now we have to move on. We know that on Thursday we've got to go and play another difficult game against City, against another team I consider will fight for the championship. Philip, what?
Well, I mean, okay. Apart from the
I'm laughing because what game was he fucking watching?
Okay, I'll agree with everything he said there, except for the first line. But to say he's not disappointed means at least there's one person connected with Spurs in this universe that wasn't disappointed. Because I can tell you, the other 2 million are very disappointed.
Yeah.
Extremely disappointed, let down, sick as a parrot, ruined the entire weekend and ruined the entire week until we get another game under our belt and win it. Yeah. So no, maybe it's the way it was lost in translation as some of his stuff is, you know. But what he should have said there was, he says, I share your disappointment, but no. Say he wasn't disappointed means he was happy, which means he's going to do nothing about it for the next time. Which means we're going to have more of the same. God help us.
Wayne Bonners put, what game was Conte watching? What was he drinking?
I don't know.
I am not disappointed. Is that man for real? I'm sorry, Philip.
Yeah.
Mia is in the background looking after the chat. Big up Mia. She says Conte needs to go to Specsavers. Oh no! Does he want to borrow our glasses? Here, Conte, borrow these. Jesus Christ!
No,
David Clark put, my tactics if we play two in the middle would be withdraw the Spurs front three away from the opposition backline to aid the middle of the park. Instead, can you read that out, Philip? Sorry, I'm having problems.
Yeah, my tactic we played two in the middle would be to withdraw the Spurs front three away from the opponent's back line to aid the middle of the park. Instead, we keep our front three deep in their half. Wrong, right? Yeah, we need to against Arsenal. They had 4, maybe 5 players in midfield against our 2, and that's not going to work.
No,
you know, I mean, when the Spurs team was announced, I'd say Lego man's eyes lit up. Really, we played right into their hands. As I suggested the day before, we should have played Bissouma, an extra midfielder, and dropped Son.
Yeah.
Bench. Have the third man in midfield, and then just leave Son and Kulusevski or Kane and Kulusevski up front. Now, Son might as well have been on the bench for all he did. You know, so
there's the lineup there, Philip. So what would you have done, changed formation wise for that lineup yesterday? I
would have left Son on the bench, right, and brought Bissouma into that middle 3, which means we play with 5 across the middle, and then the 3 boys at the back.
Would you have done a 4-5-1 or 3-5? I
would have done a 3-5. Let's see, 3-5. No, hang on now. 3-5-1-1.
Yeah,
you know, with Kulusevski maybe pulling in behind Kane a little bit. 3-5-1-1, and keep at least some of their midfielders busy. You know, but the fact it was like an open dam, waiting for the floodgates to open, and they opened very quickly with the aid of Hugo Lloris, obviously. You know, but no, I would have changed that. But let's face it, we're going to come up to City on Thursday, and I bet you it'll be the same again.
It will
same again. You know, and we all know what's going to happen there. City City lost 2 games on the trot. They won't want to make it 3. They are hurting at the moment.
My giving Conte my glasses has gone down a tree in the chat. Wayne's having a good giggle at that one. I mean, and Wembley won here, and I like this. He says, respect to the Everton fans for the passion they have shown to get their board removed. ENIC have far more money than Everton owners so have far less excuse.
Yeah.
the aim is to make Levy unwelcome. You've got to do it in a respectful way. I think having you feel it. How did we do it?
Sorry, go on.
How did we do it under Sugar? We just made it uncomfortable, didn't we?
Yeah, the chanting at the ground and stuff like that, and then and okay, that was about it really. I mean, there might have been the odd demonstration out again. Graham would know more than that. Graham was on the demonstration outside the ground all the time. But I think what we have to keep it respectful. You cannot be violent or unfortunately, what the Everton fans did on Friday night wasn't too good.
No.
They set off fireworks outside the Southampton team.
I thought it was gas. I
know it's childish, really, to be honest. I mean, it's what the Spanish and the Italian teams do all the time,
Yeah.
But I think that the Everton is a funny case. They had owners that didn't have as much money as we had, but they spent it absolutely worse than we did. They bought players in for exorbitant prices who did absolutely nothing for the club, and it's not a bit of a surprise that they are where they are at the minute. And I feel sorry for the Everton fans. I think we should join up with them really and compare notes and see what the best way to get around it and get rid of our owners.
Yeah. Can you hear any noise coming through, Philip?
No.
All right. It's just
You've gone now. You froze. You're frozen, Dermot. Sorry, folks. I think Dermot's frozen. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I'll carry on anyway. I'll just go read the comments here. Wayne Bonner says, I think I'll have 2 pairs will be enough. Yeah. I've seen the prices Specsavers are charging at the moment. I don't think Levy would pay them for them. Next one is from HFN. Newcastle employed the 4-5-1 against us. It stopped us in the first half, but second half, tactical changes to Xhaka's positioning helps Zinchenko break the lines like a hot knife through butter. Well, that's a reasonable comment from an Arsenal fan, so thanks for that. Pity you didn't tell us about it before the match. I'd done something about it. Oh, dear. So Mia tells me we can hear you, so I'll just carry on here now. Manchester City passed 723 times in their last game, so we'll be dizzy up at their ground. Yeah, but they're still lost. They're still lost.
I swear to God, the Arsenal, Daniel Levy or somebody's in my fucking computer. And that's the second time it's done that now. It's just cuts out completely. So I'll have to go back to the old reliable one, I think.
There you are. Very good. I wouldn't put it past Spurs to win on Thursday. You do the Gooners a favour. Listen, I don't care who we're doing a favour for now. I just want to win.
Yeah.
And a win against Man City would be a good way of restoring the faith a wee bit, because we're full on Monday, and they're no dozers at the moment either,
No. Philip, look, we've got a few questions here. We won't go through all of them. I'll try to keep this down because I know you've been busy today and you're not long in yourself there. So we won't keep it. The one I want to start is this one. The Sky coverage yesterday was bordering on an Arsenal loving with Paul Merson, reveling in our discomfort. Why do the media hate Spurs so much? I mean, I watched it yesterday. The Sky presenter was saying was bigging up Arsenal before the game.
Yeah.
Come on, Arsenal can do this. Come on, Arsenal. You got Mr. fucking idiot, as I call him, Seahead, on there doing what he's saying. Jamie Redknapp is just loyal to anyone that he's loyal to. And then James, I don't know what Lewis Saha was there for. He played not many games for us, scored 1 goal in a 5-2 defeat against Arsenal. So what Tottenham insight can he give? Philip, why do they hate us so much?
I don't know. Maybe Levy charges him for the drinks in the press room or something. I don't know. There's where other clubs are giving for nothing. It's a mystery. I think it's down to a lot of the character and the previous clubs of a lot of the presenters. You've got the likes of Paul Merson, who we all know what he's like. He would not. If Spurs beat Arsenal 12-0, he'd say Arsenal were unlucky. That's the type of him. Right? So I mean, that's just the way it is. I'm not even going to comment on him because he's a joke. Jamie Redknapp, I thought, still a bit pissed. I think that we sacked his dad about 100 years ago.
Yeah,
he wasn't forgiving us for that. Even though he's an ex-Spurs player, he should have a bit more loyalty.
Yeah.
Then you've got these other twits that they bring on now and again. The renter mob, the sort of stocking fillers, as I call them. When they can't get a decent commentator like Roy Keane, they bring in the likes of Louis Saha.
Yeah.
Who played about half a game for us in his career, and against Arsenal. And I think it's coming from the top. these guys can't all have an agenda against Spurs. I think they're told in the brief before the game, be hard on Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. That's what we do. TalkSport's the same. That guy, Adrian Durham, who was on TalkSport, he didn't have a good word to say about Spurs at all, ever.
No.
You know, and unfortunately, people listen to that sort of crap. And you know, I don't know. It's that's why I just watch the matches with the volume turned down now. I will not watch the commentary.
Mr. Eri says THFC till I die. Hey Dermot, hi Philip. Sorry if calling you Paddy was wrong. It was only meant in the right way. No problem.
We don't
no
mind.
problem at all.
It's a lot worse.
No, that wasn't meant at you at all, Mr. E. We just saw a few things today, and me and Philip wanted to say something about it at the start of the show. This is a new face. Big up to. Do you want to try that, Philip? Because I would totally get it wrong.
Anik Faisal.
Big up, Mr. Faisal. And he said, wasn't Redknapp an ex-Spurs captain? Yeah, he was. Big up, Steve D. Wasn't getting a fair bit of flack when I wasn't happy with Conte 2 months ago. He's not a good fit for us. Simple. That setup was criminal yesterday. Enoch out, leave it out, and Conte to be the driver. Look, I've said it. I said it last night in Dave's show. I'm now Conte out. I want somebody in that's going to play us the way we do. He said Redknapp said the first half was the best half of football he watched all season. God knows what he was watching.
Yeah, because that's what he wanted to see. That's what he wanted to see. You know,
Paul Merson, the Chelsea reject. Yeah, I wasn't saying to see for Chelsea, but I can't say what I want to say.
Well, I was going to say there's a couple of lads going out of business lately since Paul Merson gave up the
Escobar were one of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
David Clark said, just my luck to support two teams where both are hated by their countries, Spurs and Washington Command. Yeah.
Well, that's. I'm sure it happens everywhere, you know. Yeah. I'm not sure who the Washington Commanders is, but you know, empathise.
Yeah. Mia was quick off the mark. She says it's always snowing where he.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and every time he took a king, there was a problem with the line.
Yeah. Simon Cohen, evening, lads, evening. And then Wembley one says, let's face it, guys, City are not losing 3 in the bounce. Haaland is set to absolutely explode. We are the prime candidates to get on.
Yeah, it's an awful thing that the Queen died that day, or we wouldn't be playing this match on Thursday. You know, because the chances are, like, I mean, as you rightly say, City aren't going to go for 3 on the bounce. But then again, City in the recent matches have not been the City of old. They're giving the ball away a lot, and all it's going to take is for giving the ball away in the wrong spot. Harry Kane pounces to equal the record. Like, look what we done last season with them. No one expected us to do it, and we did it. So there's always hope, even though it's minimal.
Yeah. Steve D puts the sheer pain of having Southgate as your national coach and Conte as your club coach. Experiment on excitement on tap.
Well, we can add Stephen Kenny to that, so I know exactly what you feel.
Yeah, no, actually, Southgate's an upgrade on Stephen Kenny, to be fair. And I think I know what the problem is. I put the wrong plug into the back of the computer. That's why it keeps cutting out on me.
All right, okay.
That was the problem. Philip, look, we've done the star thing. We know you. I know I won't keep you on too much longer. We'll go for another 10 minutes. Is that okay with you?
That's fine. Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll leave the rest of the questions for the 12 o'clock show tomorrow. If you're around, Philip.
Yeah.
Is Antonio Conte too stubborn to be successful at Spurs? Has the time come to part company with him? Or will Levy allow him to buy the players we badly need? Now, Philip, before you answer, I just want to quickly put on there, there is a report in the Boy Hotspur. Now, I don't know how reliable he is or how unreliable he is, but he says Spurs are looking at 62-year-old former German international manager Joachim Löw as a replacement for Conte. Now, for me, I think Conte is too stubborn. I don't think he will change, Philip. I agree with you on that. And visit to time to part company, I think it is. I mean, Conte has sacked managers for far less. He sacked Mourinho before 6 days for a cup final. Yeah. He sacked Redknapp halfway through a season. If we're not in contention for that top 4, he will sack Conte. Now, Conte could walk at the end of the season, So is Levy going to say, right, do I leave him to the end of the season? He walk, then that gives more power to him, or do I sack him now and say, look, I've done this. We need a change. If you were Daniel Levy, sorry to put you in that position, Philip.
Where is he?
What would you do? Yeah, who's behind me? What would you do?
I'll tell you one thing. Levy, being a notorious tightwad, is not going to. I don't think he's going to sack Conte mid-contract, because then he'll have a big compensation payout to give him, right? If he lets his contract run down, he doesn't sign it, he walks away at the end of June without a penny. Just gets paid up to the last day of the month, and the way he goes. Yeah. And that's the way I think that's going to go. I think the fact that he probably, excuse me, he's in a rock and a hard place, and it's a kind of a game of, I don't know what it is, bluff and counter bluff between the two of them. Conte says, I'll sign my contract if you'll give me the players that I want, or the money that I want to buy the players. And Levy is more or less telling him to do the same thing. Levy won't commit. Levy won't commit to give him the money, and Conte won't sign until he does commit. If you get where I'm coming from, and we're getting nowhere, and it's costing the club. We're 19 days into the transfer window now, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it is. It's 17 days or whatever, and we haven't even signed. We haven't even sent any players out on loan yet. And what about the ones that we're trying to get rid of? The ones that are draining the bank balance with their big wages, Ndombele, Winks. Although I believe Joe Rodon had a good game yesterday. They beat PSG. He had a very good game.
Yeah.
Apparently. Played the whole 90 minutes. And then we've got, what do you call him? Lo Celso. What's happening there? I mean, those guys are probably costing the guts of $1 million a month in salaries. $750,000 a month in salaries. Unless the other team is picking up the salary tab. So, just put the question back up there again, Joe Dermot, because I just want to go.
Sorry there, Philip. Sorry.
Okay. Is he too stubborn? As somebody said, he's a good manager for Italian football, but I think he's been found out in English football now. I think we're too predictable. We know what's coming next. We're the easiest team to play against in the whole Premiership at the moment, because managers don't have to work out the tactics. They know exactly what's ahead of them, and they plan accordingly. Levy allow him by the play. Well, that's the question. Will Levy allow the players? I mean, we're now supposed to be in for what you call him, Dumfries, right? We're supposed to have moved on from Pedro Porro, depending on who you believe there, And Porro is a younger player, so he should be the one we're going for. Dumfries is probably 28, 29 at this stage. I don't know, but something like that. And then as I'll just move down to Joy C's comment there, where it says, or David Clark's comment, sorry, Levy will let, and they're considering giving Dyer a new contract, says it all. Yeah. I'd say that act alone could be enough to tip people over the edge.
I don't think we're going to get anyone this window. I just got this feeling now where we're not going to sign anybody. Look, for me...
If that's the case, then we can take it. Antonio Conte will not be at the club next season. That's the case.
I don't think he'd be at the club either way. I don't think the fans are going to deal with it, and I don't think... Look, I really want Conte to succeed, win us a trophy.
Yeah.
But if we go out the FA Cup and we're in no contention... and we're in no contention for top four, Conte will go.
Yeah.
Look, I want us to be successful. Look, if it means a project manager in and start a rebuild again, then so be it. But let's do it properly this time. Poch was allowed to get rid of all the players he wanted to in that first transfer window. Get rid of all the deadwood.
Yeah.
Nobody's done that since. And we've got the likes of Winks back at the club. Lo Celso's coming back.
Well, Winks is actually playing for Sampdoria the other day. He's back in Sampdoria. But nobody wants them. Can you see Sampdoria signing Winks permanently? I can't. And Ndombele got a slagging off from his manager over his performance there recently. So that's it. The Chelsea have heard nothing about it at all. I don't know what he's doing.
No. And Reguilón is Reguilón.
He's injured. He's injured.
Yeah, I don't know, Philip. Look, Philip, I don't know. Where do we go from here, Philip? Where do we go from here?
Well, I think what's going to happen here is we're going to hit rock bottom soon, right? And rock bottom, to me, would be losing to Man City on Thursday, losing to Fulham next Monday. Fulham are playing very well at the moment. They were very unlucky to lose against Newcastle yesterday. So we lose those two matches and then go into an FA Cup game, a tricky banana skin up in Preston. right?
Mm.
Now, I know Norwich beat Preston 4. I was going to mention that actually, David. I know Preston got lost at home 4-0, but that was a new manager bounce. David Wagner took over at Norwich, the ex-Huddersfield manager. And you always get those, manager bounce. I wouldn't pass too much heat on that result. But they'll be up. They'll be like Portsmouth. They'll be up for it. They'll be the biggest game they have in a long, long time. And Northern England is never an easy game to go for a cup tie. Under floodlights on a I think it's on a Saturday evening, Friday evening.
Yeah,
Saturday
6
evening.
o'clock.
Yeah, and so I'll tell you, I don't fancy it. It's not going to be easy. If we go out of the cup at that stage, then all hell's going to break loose. That's going to be.
It's our season finished, Philip.
No,
for the Champions League.
Well, I mean, let's face it. We're going over to that game, Dermot, now, and I mean, are we going more in hope than expectation? It's the second leg of a. We'll know what they have to do after the first game in Milan. But you never say never. You never know. I mean, stranger things have happened. If we were out of the Champions League in 19, we were gone.
Yeah.
Until Moura scored that goal in Barcelona, and look what happened after that. So you never say never. But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
No. I'm going over for a 4-day holiday and just getting the game in when I'm over there. Do you know?
Yeah.
Look, Philip, we'll finish off the show there. I know you've been really busy today, and I know you just got in and you very kindly jumped straight on with me. So I really appreciate that, Philip. Look, we'll be on tomorrow lunchtime, me and Philip, with Newsbeat. Well, we'll continue on this post-match show and where the Spurs go from here, and also give you any updates on any transfers that's happening. We're not on tomorrow evening, but please everyone get over to Spurs Between the Lines tomorrow evening. Mia's doing the first live show with David and Jack on at 7 o'clock. Then me and Philip are back on Wednesday with a show. Then we're back Thursday, Friday, and we've got the watch along at the weekend. So me and Philip will be bringing pillows and cushions and everything to hide behind. And Philip will behind his door behind him. He would just and on the other occasion he'd be peeping around the corner. Hasn't finished yet. Either that or Mrs. Brady may lock him in the cupboard. Who knows?
It's very possible. It's very possible. Even the doghouse at the moment, anyway. So
Oh well. Okay, we can always blame me, Philip.
Oh well, don't worry. I will.
All right, well, listen, thanks for everyone. Mia said thanks, Dermot. No problem. Please, everyone, get over there. Please, everyone, get your memberships before you leave, the $2.99, $4.99 ones. And we will be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock, 12:30 for the Newsbeat show. God bless you all. Come on, you Spurs.
On you Spurs.
In Conte we trust. And whatever you do.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Whatever you do, respect each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
All right. See you later. Right.
Yeah,
Where's the hang on, sorry. I'm going out. There we go.